Hi everyone, it's Christina from the DIYmummy.com, and today I am going to try to recreate my first ever YouTube video. Oh my gosh, you guys, we have reached 250,000 subscribers here on the DIY Mummy YouTube channel. That's 250,000. I seriously can't believe it. I started this channel almost exactly 5 years ago, so January 2015, because people asked me if they could see video versions of some of my tutorials. That's why I started. I certainly was not confident that this channel would go anywhere or that I had the skills to even do video. But here we are 5 years later and we have 250,000 subscribers on this channel. So thank you so much for believing in me, for subscribing, for liking videos, commenting, all of that. Thank you. So to celebrate, I thought it would be fun to try to recreate my first ever YouTube video that I put out January 10th, 2015, and it was a heart-shaped book page wreath. I love this video because you can hear my kids in the background, you can hear my littlest one and my second littlest one, and also I picked the most horrible intro music, and you can hardly hear me speak. I'm mumbling, muttering, all that. However, that video has done so well. What I learned from that was that it doesn't necessarily matter how skilled I think I am, as long as the content in the video is helpful for people and they see something exciting and inspiring in the content, then it's worth it to put out. So let's get started. Okay, so for this project, I have a large piece of poster board. I got it from the dollar store. I also have a book. I know some of you are gonna be so very sad that I'm ripping out pages from a book. However, this one was just from the dollar store. I use it for another craft. I also like that it has the slightly yellowed pages, so it's going to give my project a bit of a vintage look. I also have this heart stencil. So this one I actually created with my Cricut. If you don't have a Cricut, you can definitely just make one by printing out a stencil on your computer, or you can just freehand one. I actually did this a little bit differently in my original video, so just choose a method that works best for you. So first of all, I'm going to take this heart stencil, I'm going to place it onto my poster board, and I'm actually going to move it slightly over because I want this to be the inside of my wreath. I'm just eyeballing where I want this to be, and I'm going to trace around it. Okay, so after I trace around this heart, I'm going to add a second line of pencil here. And I'm eyeballing this as well. If you want to, you could use a measuring tape and make it more perfect than what I'm doing here. However, I don't think it has to be completely perfect for this DIY to turn out. So I'm just gonna fix a little bit of that piece. And there I have my wreath form. And then the next step is to cut this out. And now it doesn't have to be exactly perfect because when you put these ruffled book pages on, you're not gonna see the shape of the heart underneath. Okay, so I have my heart shape cut out for the wreath form. So next comes the scary part. If you are a book lover, we're gonna rip out some pages from this book. So you're just going to go ahead and rip out the pages carefully. If they're a little bit, if you accidentally rip a little bit of the page itself, that's okay, because we're making this vintage looking wreath. So I'm just gonna guesstimate how many pages I'm going to need for this wreath. So I'm gonna say 24, I'm gonna guess 50, and I'm gonna go ahead and rip out 50 pages. And then if you have to rip more later, that's fine. So now I have my 50 book pages that I took out of that dollar store book, and I'm going to place them on this wreath form that I created. So to do these, all you have to do is take the book page just like this, and then you fold it in half vertically, fold it in half horizontally, and then you just grab that intersection of the folds like this, and then you can kind of create a little rosette like this with the book page. And what I did with the original one was I just kind of folded over the end slightly because that is what's going to help that little rosette stick to my wreath form. Next, you take your glue gun and you just apply a little dab of glue onto that folded over edge, and then place it onto the wreath form. So I'm going to apply these all around the outside perimeter of this heart, and I'm going to do a row. You can place them rather close together so that you don't see that poster board underneath. And then once I do this row of the rosettes, I'm going to apply another row on the inside of the wreath form. You're also going to want to make sure that you hold these down for quite a long time so that they stay in place and that glue sets. So this is a rather time-consuming DIY, but I definitely love the outcome. I love the shabby chic look of this craft, and I think it's going to be great for Valentine's Day and even spring. So I'm placing them about 1/2 inch apart from each other here. I think that's going to look good in the end, and we're going to find out. So again, I'm folding it in half this way, in half this way, grasping the intersection of the folds with my fingers and pulling everything up to create a rosette shape. I'm hoping that since I'm filming this video kind of ASMR style, where you can hear all of the paper crinkling and stuff, that it will be a little bit more interesting than when I just do a voiceover. Let me know down in the comments below. Do you like this style of video where you hear all of the materials being used, or do you prefer it nice and quiet with a voiceover? Let me know down in those comments below. I'm also trying to make sure that I maintain the same distance from the book pages to the edge of my wreath form so that everything is nice and even, and that the heart shape is created in the end. So I am done my first row of this wreath, and it's actually, I don't remember it being this time consuming. I don't know, maybe I am getting a little impatient in my old age 5 years later, but it did take me about 1/2 hour to do this part. I'm also getting more and more aggressive with how much I scrunch the ends of the rosette, so I'll just show you what I'm doing here. So like I did in the beginning, I'm folding it in half this way, folding it in half this way, grabbing that intersection of the folds, scrunching that, but I'm also kind of scrunching this point a little bit more before I fold over the tip of it, and I feel like that helps the rosette stay in place. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do this inside row. So I'm going to attach this here and go all the way around. I think that's going to be enough. I'm certainly using more than 50 book pages, so I will let you know the final tally at the end of the video. One more little piece for this inside row, and this whole process from the beginning to the end of the folding and the placement was about an hour. So it is a rather time-consuming little project, but I feel like this would be one of those projects that you could do while you're watching Netflix or a movie or listening to a podcast or something like that. It's quite mindless. So I did end up tearing out a few more of the book pages, so I used about 70 book pages altogether. So here's how this is looking. It's so ruffly, it's so full. It's actually quite a bit bigger than I thought it would be, so just keep that in mind when you're cutting out the template for the heart shape at the bottom. Mine was about 11.5 inches wide in the inside. So, and this wreath altogether is probably about 15 inches wide. I'm just going to adjust some of these book pages to make sure that I'm seeing this heart shape. Some of them are folded down a little bit more than I'd like into the center, but overall I'm pretty happy with this. I think it's slightly bigger than my original, but once I edit this video and see them side by side, I'm gonna know. So I took some of this dollar store lace ribbon. You can find this at Dollar Tree and Dollarama, and I'm going to use this to hang my wreath in the center. So I'm just going to take some, fold it around the wreath, and I'm just going to tie it on top into sort of like a shabby chic looking bow. And then sort of weave it in between the book pages. And that's that. A little bit floppy, so just make sure that it's up against a wall. You can't just kind of hang it in midair because the wreath form is a bit floppy. If you wanted something a little more sturdy, then I'd suggest using maybe some cardboard. And we're all done. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of this book page heart wreath and what you think of the very first video that I did and how they compare. Thanks again for subscribing to my channel and taking it to 250,000 subscribers. I'm so grateful to you guys every day. You are the ones responsible for me being in this career, and I love it and I appreciate you guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more DIY and decor ideas on a budget. I'm gonna leave some more videos that I hope you will enjoy right up here.